Hello there, it's Kriint and welcome to another speed build. So this weekend we're building a Victorian low pack house, and as you can probably see, I'm not a big fan of this house style. Like I haven't built much on Strangerville. I guess that's a lie. Because I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4 houses left. How many houses did Strangerville came with? I love that, in probably 5 weeks from now, I will be building, the last Strangerville house, and I will be like, yeah, as you can see, I'm probably not building that much on Strangerville. But yeah, this house style anyways, I struggle with it. I don't feel comfortable with building houses of this style because I feel like I will mess it up, and it has like a strong style. Like it's not like you can do anything and you cannot go wrong. Like you can name pretty much anything modern, as long as it has like some modern element, but the Victorian style is very specific. And because I'm not very comfortable with it, I'm not feeling good when building a house like that. So I'm trying to avoid it. I think I've done one other Victorian house and a Victorian church. So I was like, you know what? Let's practice. So I decided to essentially build a Victorian house, but with low packs. The packs that I decided to use was obviously Strangerville and Vampires, and these were the only packs. I think these packs really work well together because Vampires is from a different era, most of the furniture, so I feel like I did good. I'm happy with the end result. And originally, these builds during the weekends, I did not aim to actually include them on the save file because I was like, I'm gonna be crappy at them. I'm not good at building houses and making them, that impressive with only a few packs. It cannot be done. Houses with few packs aren't going to be, wow, as if you had more to work with. But I soon realized that I've built some houses that I was really impressed with myself and really proud, and honestly they made their way into the save file. And this was one of these houses because I was so impressed with the end result and so happy with the end result. I was like, did I do that? With only these few packs? Yes, queen! So I was really excited. The interior of the house, I don't know what's going on. Also, I don't know what's going on with the colors. As you saw, originally I went with a blue because I wanted something slightly colorful, but also kinda, I guess, how should I say it? I'm not sure. I want to say official, but that's not the word. Maybe preppy, that you see it and it's like, wow, okay, that's impressive, but kind of breathtaking impressive. You see it and you're like, I'm kind of scared. I don't know how I should explain it. I didn't want to go crazy with the colors, and I went with the blue and the white, but I felt like it was looking too much like a Greek, some sort of mansion, or I don't know what. I'm like, this is not working. And I had this same problem. It has so many colorful swatches, but I don't like them. I had the same problem with the other house, which was too big. The first one, Victorian, I guess, that I did. I wanted it to be colorful, but I felt like if I went too colorful, because it was so big, it would overpower the house. And if I went with a darker color, it would just look too much. And here, I'm like, I want to go colorful, but I did not like any of the colorful swatches, and one of the options was to go pink, and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not doing a pink house. So I was really annoyed by that, and I decided to go essentially with blue and beige, which I'm like, it's okay, I guess. And because we don't really have a decent sliding, how is this called, the wallpaper, I decided to go, the one that matched the blues was this purple. So the purple also carried inside, and I really like it. You will see it in a bit. Also, I found out that we don't have decent lights, exterior lights, tall ones. I guess Wall Street lights with those packs. Base game didn't came with decent lights. The only one we have has like little flower pots hanging. I'm like, this doesn't make sense in a house. And the ideal one, I think, would be the one from Romantic Garden, but I felt like it doesn't make any sense. I should probably not use a pack just for the lights. So this time, yeah, I only used 2 packs. Extremely proud of it. And as you can see, this little area really troubled me. I'm not sure if I even like the final result, to be honest. Also, I built all of that and I guess decorated and furnished all of that before the update came, in which we got the free plants from Strangerville. But I went offline and I added a couple that I felt like they made sense. But because the theme of the house for me was essentially a grandparents' house, I really wanted it to be colorful and have many flowers, because I could imagine like a sweet grandma going around and watering her flowers, even though that's not a thing in Sims 4, at least with normal flowers. I'm not sure which Sims was it. Was it Sims 2 or was it Sims 3? That normal flowers would overgrow and you would have to have a gardener to come and essentially like chop the flowers and the overgrown part to look like normal again. I want to say it was Sims 3 because I remember it very clearly. And I remember doing a huge mansion. I'm like, okay, the gardener is going to have so much fun. So yeah, I really missed that. Honestly, I really missed that. I think it was adding like, a realistic element to the game. But anyways, in other news, this is the living room, and I don't know, like, because the house on the exterior was very old, and I guess Victorian. I mean, it was Victorian, it was obviously old. I wanted the interior to essentially say that. Because with the other Victorian that I did, I think the interior turned out more traditional than Victorian. So this time I was like, let's make it as Victorian as possible without, hating the end result. And I think I'm kind of happy with it. Like, you can see that grandparents live here, that essentially they built this house ages ago and they furnished it, so they have this old furniture that they never cared to upgrade. So I was really happy with this idea, to be honest. And yeah, I like it. I think it looks okay. On the upstairs, this house can fit essentially 2 Sims, the grandparents, but I had an extra room. So I was like, what do we do with this room? And usually, I don't know like if everyone does that, but I've seen when people usually when their kids move out, they turn the kid bedrooms into something different. So I decided to essentially turn the kids' bedroom into an office, but you will see that it still has some kids' toys for when the grandkids come to visit. So I really like that. Also, I made sure to add a dining table because I wanted it to have that old feeling, and I honestly think that dining tables are becoming kind of not a necessity, because people will eat in the living room, will eat in their bed, will eat in their office and not sit on a table. But because this is an old house, it had to have a small dining table. It's tiny, but it had to be there. Also, I wasn't sure about the grand piano. I really wanted one of those I guess 2x2 pianos would be. I'm not sure how they're called, that they're tall, and I guess they're more normal in old houses. But the only piano that we have that is this way is from Vampires, and it's the whole cathedral thing with the pipes. So I was yeah, that's too much. So yeah, what else? Can I say how much obsessed I am with these doors? These doors are perfect. Like, I know that they don't match every house, but I love them. I love them so much. I wish I could use them everywhere. These doors that came with this pack is everything. So yeah. In other news, we're doing the entry, which I'm gonna change in a bit because, well, not everything, the table. Because I found I'm not sure how it's called, but it has a very similar style and it's base game table, but it's not filtered under the end table category. So I found it while doing the bathroom and I was like, ooh, that's fancy, not this bathroom, the upstairs bathroom. So I was like, oh, this fancy, I like that. Let's use it. So yeah. Also downstairs we have a tiny bathroom and I made sure to include one on every floor because I read, and I guess it's known fact, but it never occurred to me, that essentially when you're building a house, you will probably need a bathroom on every floor. Because like it would make sense, let's be honest. You don't have to run, upstairs or downstairs to use the toilet. So it never occurred to me that because like I grew up on an apartment, a one-floor apartment with one bathroom, and I'm currently living on an apartment, of a one-floor apartment with one bathroom. So like I remember in the past I've done houses with 6 or 7 sims, something like that, and had only one bathroom between 2 floors. So I'm like, yeah, that was probably a mistake. So currently I'm trying to incorporate a bathroom on every floor. So yeah, but this is, the big bathroom. I didn't want it to be, well, it wasn't possible by the layout of the house, but I didn't want it to be a master bathroom. I wanted it to be a shared bathroom because like essentially only 3 sims used to live here and one moved away, so it doesn't really make sense to have a master bathroom and then another bathroom, but whatever. So yeah, I really like how everything is turning out. I'm really happy with it. And here is the master bedroom, which I had no idea what to do. I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Also the curtains. The curtains were such a big problem because I did not like them. I never use these curtains. I don't like their pattern, to be honest. Even though I think their shape is great, I don't like their pattern. So I had to use them because like a bedroom without curtains doesn't really make sense. So I was like, okay, cool. And I also wasn't really happy with the bed options, to be honest. But I was like, this is what we have, this is what we're gonna work with. And the other side of the bed, I really wanted to include a vanity mirror, but again, I couldn't because it would be from another pack. So I was like, what do we do? Do we do a bookcase? No. Do we do a fireplace? No. So I essentially just decided to do a couple of wardrobes, just to give them more storing space. Oh, one wardrobe. Okay, cancel that. And at this point, I was really thinking like, okay, what do we do with the other bedroom? And because I use so much vampires, I'm like, this is Strangerville, so we might as well have, this will sound weird, but essentially a grandparents couple who, not necessarily grandparents, like an old couple who never got to have their own kids. So in their doorstep one day it appeared a vampire toddler, and they're kinda, turned the office area, or I guess the second bedroom, into a vampire toddler bedroom because, they wanted to keep it secret and they don't let him or her outside the house. But then I'm like, yeah, that's probably too weird and too specific. Let's not do that. And then I thought, what, many offices, when they're turned, or, when there is not a second guest bedroom, they have a big couch that can turn into, I guess, a bed. So I was like, let's kind of try and do that. but the room was so small and it was not possible. So I was really disappointed at this point because I felt like it would make sense. In case the kids came over, they could come and sleep, or in case someone came over, they could just pretty much sleep in the office. But yeah, I quickly abandoned this idea and I went with grandparents with kids and grandkids. So yeah. And we're almost done, thank God, because honestly I don't know what else I was supposed to say. I was pretty much done here. So here are the screenshots. I took them in dusk. I really like them, especially the aircrafts in the back. I've never noticed them before, but I really like it. I really like some little decorations that we got with Strangerville. I guess not decorations, essentially like word elements. So yeah, I'm happy with the results of this house and how it ended up looking, especially if we considered that it only uses 2 packs, Strangerville and Vampire. So pretty happy. If you want to download it, of course, there will be a link in the description down below, or you can check my username in the gallery, which is the exact same one as here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!